Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing. It's time for the monthly portfolio unveil video for April. So as usual, this is a monthly portfolio unveil where I'll unveil my entire portfolio from A to Z. So we'll look at values and all the buys and sells I made in April of 2024. The value is as of the time I'm filming it, which is 13 minutes before market closing time on April the 23rd. It's 2:47 here or 3:47 EST. So this is the entire value of all 6 investing accounts put together in Canadian dollars. And what you're looking at, in case you don't know, is Passive. This is the portfolio management tool that I use and love. And of course, they are a good friend and the sponsor of the video of the monthly portfolio unveil video. So I'd like to thank them for being the sponsor of the video. Make sure you guys download and try Passive. There is a free version, guys. You absolutely have to try it. It's a great tool where you could combine all your investing accounts together. You could see everything in one place. There's a reporting tab to see where all your dividends come in, so you don't have to log into multiple investing accounts. If you manage your family members' portfolio, that is definitely my favorite feature. You could organize your accounts in certain sections like I did here. So download it today. It's completely free. If you use Questrade like I do, you get the elite membership absolutely free, which gives you extra features. And in case you're curious to try the elite membership, you don't use Questrade, I do have a referral code below where you'll get 50% off. So you could try it out for only $50 for the year for the elite membership. But either way, guys, try it out. The free version at least. See how you like it. I'm pretty sure you'll be impressed like I was. So let's check out the portfolio in terms of value, guys. As you can see, it's a 1.45 million Canadian total, all 6 accounts together. And of course, you guys know I have 2 entities, really. The main portfolio, which makes up our 2 TFSAs and our joint cash account and a non-registered account. That is where I finally hit a $10,000 a month of passive income mark, like the thumbnail said. Very exciting stuff here. That is the portfolio where I live off of, you could say. And it represents about 61-62% of the total value. And the rest, the other 38-39%, is the retirement accounts, which makes up our 2 RSPs, and my small Lira account. And that's just those accounts are just completely on drip, just dripping away. So let's start with the retirement accounts first, of course. And let's look at it in Excel, guys, which is much easier to digest, and you'll be able to see everything here in terms of values. Now, if you want to download this sheet yourself, if the screen is a little bit too small, you want to download it to follow along, just go to my website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, click on free tools at the top, and the very first download will be this Excel sheet. So that you're looking at here, that you could follow along. Remember, there are different tabs for different portfolios, as well as blank portfolio templates rather, and even a blank budget file. So let's do my RSP first. As you guys know, everything is on drip. I'm no longer contributing to the RSPs because I'm a non-resident of Canada. So really the most important thing is how much that I put into the RSP overall. That is what really I'm calculating, I'm tracking, and how much is the account worth. That's what I'm tracking, and now I'm even tracking it for you every single month. And then you have the profit, unrealized profit or return percentage based on these 2 numbers, but I put unrealized because nothing has come out of the account yet. So obviously everything is in the green, all 3 accounts. So last month, as of March, the account was worth $257,000 Canadian. Now it's worth $257,000, $1,000 less, even with the drips going through. And that makes sense. That's because the market didn't really do that well in April, although today and yesterday the market was in the green, so it's definitely picking up again. So let's check out, of course, what you're probably most curious about. How is the 2 core positions, and the core position in my RSP and the core position in my wife's RSP doing? QQQY in my RSP, $120,000 investment. How much is that investment worth? Everything on drip. The investment is now worth, if you go to the RSP, $128,622. So this was less than last month, of course, because the NASDAQ took a little bit of a tumble, but it did go up in the last several days. So still ahead, still way over my initial investment. And in terms of the JETP investment, which the initial investment, or how much I put in, is a $100,000 investment. In my wife's RSP, you see that here, it's $110,000. So the value, my investment is worth way more than what I put in, which is how you need to look at very high yielding funds. In my opinion, the best way to play them is to drip them. They're not ideal to live off of the income. The best thing to do, if you like the daily option strategy, which I like, is to drip them. And all that matters if you're dripping, guys, is what is your investment worth? Not what the stock chart is. What is your investment worth? So put in 100 grand in JEPI, worth 110, a little over that. Put 120 in QQQY, now it's at 128.6. And every month I'm going to compound those units, and the shares are going to grow every single month. So that is pretty much how the retirement accounts are doing. No complaints. Bitcoin still very strong here. I'm up significantly. As you know, in the Lira, I went full Bitcoin in Maxi. Definitely the top performer in the Lira here, the only performer actually, but I also have a little bit in my RSP, doing really, really well. Everything else, like the SVOL, the RIV RA, and the SVOL here, they're more secondary positions, I would say, but they're still all on drip, just dripping away. So 145 to 257, I'm up 77%. 165 to 250, up 51%. 33,000, this is all Canadian dollars, by the way. 33,047, up 42%. So these accounts are just dripping. So far, so good. Let's check it out next month again, as usual. And I'll keep advising you and showing you what my QQQY and JEPY investments are worth with the drip on. I could only lead and show you by example, guys, because there's a lot of nonsense out there about these two ETFs. But for the record, my personal opinion, best way to play them is to drip them. They are not necessarily ideal to live off of the income. So let's look at the main portfolio now, because there's a lot of changes, a lot of buying. I did a big buying spree and finally hit that $10,000. So let's check it out. All right, everyone, time for the main portfolio here. So let's first of all go straight away to the main portfolio tracker, which is where you could see all my buys and sells for April. Pretty busy April. I did sell off some of my Ethereum. You know, I was at like 40,000 Bitcoin investment, $45,000 Ether, and that didn't make too much sense to me. So now I'm at 50-30, which I think makes definitely a lot more sense. And I actually caught the timing fairly well on the Ethereum on a day where it really went up nice and high. And, you know, they're both doing pretty well now. They're going back up, yes. But, you know, with that 15K sell, I did realize a small capital loss of 1676. Of course, this is just the capital, doesn't count all the income I made off Ethereum ETF, but I still consider that very, very high risk, and I just felt like the Bitcoin is definitely more solid, and at 50-30 makes more sense to me, and even 50-20 might make more sense, but I'll probably wait it out till Ethereum goes back up, or at least I break even, not super far off with a 523 average price. So I think maybe a 60-20 even would make more sense. So of course, with that $15,000, which I made up the 1676 loss with my own money, I bought 10K worth of BTCY, and the rest I put in QQCL. I also sold off my Happy T position, HYPT, or it's probably HPYT. I always mix up the stock symbol. And I took a very small loss on that, on 30,000, just 1310. The reason is simple. I just feel like I didn't really need it anymore. It's not leveraged. Also, that's probably the main reason why I sold it off. And I want, leverage stuff. This is interest rate sensitive as well. So I said, you know what, let me just get other things that are interest rate sensitive, that have higher yield, that are leveraged, which make more sense to me. So I did put quite a bit in FTN. I think that's where I put most of it, 15K in FTN. I put a little bit in bank, and 10K in bank, and then about 5K or the rest in YTSL, which is Tesla, and hasn't been doing that well lately. But with this move, although I took a very small loss of 1310, I increased my yield, and I actually calculated, I looked at all the dividends that this ETF has made for me, and it was about $1,600. So it's, just because I have a 1310 capital loss, it actually, if you can count the income, it was a net positive. ETHY, I think it was a net loss, but only by a couple of $100 or something like that, not much. So in the end, no big deal to streamline and make my portfolio better and more efficient. And what did I buy? Well, of course, you have the FTN, BTCY, Bank, YTSL, which which were part of basically the streamlining. But the major thing that I really did this month in April was to buy $25,000 worth of RS. I've been stacking up on RS because real estate is extremely undervalued in my opinion. It's definitely the ugly duckling right now. It's very interest rate sensitive, and I think interest rate cuts, especially in Canada, will come fairly soon, which should help RS. Plus, RS did an overnight offering, so there's many reasons. For me, it was a no-brainer. So I've been loading up on RS, guys, in this month, and I got my average cost base down to 14.35. So I'm making almost 11% yield on this. Of course, the more money you have in something, the harder it is to, or the longer it is to average it down. But I'm very happy with this decision. I think it's a no-brainer. This is still real estate. Very solid, having a very hard time right now, which is music to my ears. You gotta, typically you gotta invest in stuff that is the ugly duckling that people are hating and selling and nobody's talking about, and that's not performing well. It's only part of being a good investor, value investor. So overall, the value, I'm down 5.6% overall. This is just the capital, by the way. And if you're wondering where I get that 894, well, I get it in passive. Where is it here? I get it in passive. So you just click on main portfolio. There it is. The total value is 894. So the difference is basically 5.6 minus 5.6, which is almost nothing. And keep in mind, this is just the capital. Does not include the income. So I'm happy to say that I passed 13% yield and that I passed $10,000 a month. It's absolutely incredible. Of course, it's not 10,000. This is $10,274 gross. I do have to pay 25% withholding tax on all my dividends, but I get most of that back. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the tax video I did on non-residents recently. But the gist of it is that ROC and capital gains from this 25% tax are refunded as a non-resident. So a lot of these funds give mostly capital gains at ROC. So the net income is just under $10,000. It's $9,713, but I got to 10,000 gross, but I will get to 10,000 net very soon. And you have the complete breakdown of how much of this, 9313 is coming from the cash account and the TFSA's account as well. There's other columns. You could unhide them, guys, where it will give you an idea of exactly which shares are in the TFSA versus the cash account. But remember, for me as a non-resident, it mostly doesn't matter except for two exceptions, real estate and energy. But I don't want to talk about that here. I talk about that in the tax video. So in case you're curious, check that one out. So let's just go through the holdings real quick. HYLD still my number one holding here. Didn't add any more to that. HDIF still consistent. This was also a contender to pick some up. Whenever HDIF goes under $8, it interests me, but now it's already back over $8. USCL, QQCL. So these ones, did not have such a great time. They're having a great time in the last 2 days, April 22 and 23, but in the last couple of weeks in April, the US indexes are under pressure because inflation is sticky, basically, just speculation behind that. But I'm planning on adding $5,000 to QQCL every single month until the end of the year, and that will get me to 100,000. These are my core positions, and I do want my QQCL and USCL to be 100,000 a piece. GDV was also a contender to buy some more this month, but I really focused on RS. This is really one I'm averaging down aggressively because my intention is to sell it later on. And for, of course, personal tax reasons, which is explained in that video as well. But still, great time to buy any real estate because it's completely down. So I've been just adding more and more, and I won't be surprised if I keep averaging it down as well. Maybe I'll get to $14. That's what I've been doing, or mostly what I did in April in terms of what I bought. Bank did add a little bit, right, from that HPYT Happy Tea sale. So now it's at 100,000, nice number, and it was a time where financials were not doing well, just like, because they're also kind of interest rate sensitive. So average down a couple of cents here. So over 16% yield. ENCL, just solid. Oil's doing really well. So I'm not going to be adding to this one because energy is doing really well. I want to add to that when energy starts, when oil prices start going down. So no changes there. FTN average down a little bit again, just over $9. It's been doing well. It's at $8.10 now or something like that. So super nice yield. And this also, along with RS, is another one that I'm planning on selling for personal tax, non-resident reasons. Basically, our FTN only gives out eligible dividends, which is not good for me. I don't get any of that eligible dividends back. I really am looking for stuff that has ROC and capital gains. And RS, it's because the exception to that 25% withholding tax that you get your capital gains and ROC back, well, the exception is real estate for some reason. So that is unfortunately the problem with RS, but it's really a shame. So that's just how it goes. YTSL, Tesla's not having a good time. It's been going down like every day. I added a little bit to it, but not before, I averaged it down to $16.67. Now it's at $12. So this is by far the riskiest position in this portfolio. I do like Tesla, but this is something I would always make a very, very, very small position. I am hesitant to add more. Maybe I'll get it to add another couple thousand, but this is always going to remain, guys, a very small position because it's the highest risk thing in my portfolio for sure. And then the crypto, like I said, instead of 40-45, it's 50-30, which makes more sense. I definitely want to emphasize Bitcoin more than Ethereum. And I actually see 60-20 would be even nicer as well, right? Bitcoin is the one I really understand and the one that is considered digital gold. So I probably will always have Bitcoin at least 5% of the portfolio. So that's it, guys. Those are the changes and upgrades and streamlining that I did for the month of April. Again, you could download the file, check everything out and take your time. And remember to navigate the tabs at the bottom to switch in between the tabs for the RSP tracker, which I haven't done anything in 2024 yet. Everything is on drip. But main portfolio, the cool news is A, I passed 13% yield overall. And 2, I finally passed $10,000. Yes, it's gross, but I'm getting there when it comes to the net as well. So we're going to do this again next month. I know it's your favorite video. I'm just showing you my journey. Doesn't mean my portfolio is the best. I'm just, showing you what I do. What you do is completely up to you. Make sure you understand your investment goals and objectives. So take care, guys, and see you next time. Hey, don't go yet. A few reminders before you leave. Did you know that I launched a YouTube loyalty membership program where for only $3 a month, you could become a PII Inner Circle member where you will gain access to exclusive content, exclusive videos and live streams, as well as other perks and benefits, including a really cool weekly opportunity report. That's right. If you're interested, just click on the little join button next to the subscribe button to see what it's all about. Also, make sure to follow me on Blossom and download Blossom. It's a social investing app, which is really cool. You could share your portfolio, follow other people's portfolios, including my own. My username is Adrian_PII. So download it with the referral link below. Not only is it free, but you could actually earn cash by taking these really small, quick 1-minute courses. Really awesome. It's a no-brainer. Also, make sure to visit our website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca. That's where you could book a one-on-one private coaching session with yours truly, with myself, where you could ask me all the questions you want. All the information and booking information is on the website. Make sure to check out that video on the homepage there to see how to book a one-on-one properly. Also on my website, you could purchase my digital product, which I'm very proud of, the ultimate DIY investing package. This is a reference tool or a companion tool that will help you build your own portfolio. So it has lists of funds, it has sample portfolios, and it covers both the Canadian and US stock markets. And the good news is you'll only ever have to buy it once because it comes with free lifetime updates. And my plan is really to update the version every single year. So make sure to pick it up. Also, I have Questrade and Passive referral links below. So Questrade is the broker that I personally use, and Passive is the broker companion tool or assistant that I use. Really cool program, really cool software. So I have referral links for both of those. Questrade, $50 of free trades. And Passive, I have half off for the Elite membership. If you're interested in the Elite membership, and even if you want to start out with the free membership and upgrade to the Elite afterwards, use my referral code so you could still get that 50% off. And don't forget that the Elite membership of Passive is 100% free if you use Questrade. For social media, we have a very successful and big Facebook group, private Facebook group with over 14,000 members where we all try to help each other out. So make sure to join that group. Information is below. We also have Instagram where you could follow us or more personal stuff when it comes to our life here in Panama. And there's LinkedIn as well. So as usual, everyone, how do I leave you? Continue to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay passive. See you next time.